What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 58 of the Stand Up Guys podcast. I'm your host, incomparable Zach Jones, joined as always by the Adam Cartwright to my Haas Cartwright, Lester Jones.
I feel like a hoss.
I mean,
Wasn't he like the big dumb one?
that's the thing. It is kind of more insulting for me to be Haas, but Adam is the older brother.
Gotcha.
Man, I got really into that comedy podcast, Bonanas for Bonanza, and then they stopped making it. Come on, people, we need more. There's so many episodes of Bonanza not talked about.
Maybe they died.
Is that the one where they painstakingly go into it minute by minute?
They don't go minute by minute, but they do talk about it. It's hilarious. It's hosted by that Andy Daly guy, and man, it was a really funny podcast. They should bring it back. And of course, we got the ninth wonder, Chocolate Thunder, eating pussy by the mile like it's going out of style. The clam slurping, tuna burping. No matter how tired, no matter how hurt, forget about water. He only drinks squirt. The phenomenal A.J. Singh.
Yeah.
Force that enthusiasm.
How do you guys feel about the actual soda squirt?
I don't even know what that is.
I just think it's Mountain Dew.
But it's not. It's much worse. The funny thing about it, though, is I don't know why, but my mom, whenever we were sick as kids, she would always give us either 7-Up or Sprite. She says there's something about that's good for you if you're sick. That's probably not true.
Yeah, almost certainly not true. I don't know where that one comes from.
I don't either.
Probably everyone's heard that one, though.
Yeah, even my mom's
But
they sold it as medicine in the 1920s.
There's been a couple of times where she was sick, so she told my dad to go to the store by the house and get some Sprite. And he came back with squirt, which is a much...
Oh, no.
Not squirt, Dad! It's much different. It's not clear. It's green, but it's not clear. And, it doesn't taste anything like Sprite or something.
To be fair, anytime you send Dad to the store, it's your own fault.
That's true, but if you're sick, you kind of
What if you wrote it down? Would you still mess it up?
there's a good chance.
Come back with a 6-pack, some tomato sauce.
All right. Well, any stories from the week, guys? Or any guys watch anything good?
All right, I gotta touch on this. There's a
That's what she said.
There's a very cringy TikTok trend with the fratty kind of college age guys doing these weird,
they blow each other.
Well,
not gay.
It's pretty much like that. They're doing these weird poses, where they're getting arrested and they try to look sexy for the camera,
in their mugshot.
Yeah, it's just during the pose, while they're being arrested, while they're being thrown up against the wall, they're looking all hunky and they're growling,
sexy,
it's so
sweaty,
bad.
with their rippling abs.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So they're purposely committing offenses that get them arrested.
Yeah, that's gross. Where can we find these pictures?
They're not really committing offenses. They actually got other human beings to get in on this whole photo shoot situation. It is just, oh my God, the fact that multiple people can agree to do this thing. And
how many hours were you on TikTok today?
I don't know, so many. There were so many of these guys.
He's there's so many of these buff
Can't stop looking.
But no, I mean, honestly, I did see 3 or 4 of them. It is bad. Oh my gosh, it's gross.
Any women getting in on this act?
Women are always doing stuff on TikTok, man. That whole app is built on them and black people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's hard to get away with building something on the backs of black people these days.
Everybody's on you for it.
I know. There's got to be a way.
And they're out here harassing OnlyFans.
Hey,
TikTok.
I heard that OnlyFans overturned its decision, and
yeah, because they were going to go out of business.
Yeah.
But what are they doing now with the banking situation then?
I don't know, man. I guess you find somebody. Be like, hey, PayPal, we route like billions of dollars. could you help a brother out?
There's gonna be like an OnlyFans like
Crypto,
what's the like a Fort Knox that they secure themselves.
Yeah, what I forgot what I think we talked about this. There was another app. Was it Tumblr? I forget what it was, but they had like a large like porn base where a lot of people were doing nude or sex stuff, and like they banned the sex stuff, and they had sold the company for like it was over $1 billion, and then like a couple years later they had to sell it off for like a few million.
Yeah, I heard about
that's a painful loss right there.
Yeah, I never used Tumblr, but I think that might be the one that it was. Yeah.
Guys, we gotta get into the fact that I watched Rush Hour last night, and Chris Tucker is the worst cop I've ever seen in the history of movie cops.
I haven't watched that movie in forever.
I'm sure I have watched it.
Does it hold up?
Yeah, it holds up. Like, you get that 90s racism in there, and like
my favorite kind.
It seems realistic.
Yeah, I've definitely become like that old person who's like, I'm not racist.
Like, Chris Tucker really comes off as offensive towards Jackie Chan.
Oh, yeah. It does sound vaguely familiar.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I feel like the Chinese government, like, wasn't on this movie because, like, it makes the Americans look good, it makes the Chinese look good, it makes the British look bad. Because the bad guy is, like, one old British guy.
Oh, okay. The only thing I remember was, like, him to Jackie Chan be like, man, nobody understands the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, I really don't remember.
Yeah, it's been like a minute since I watched that movie.
No, it's a good movie. It holds up. Yeah, it was fun. It was just, look, in the first scene, like, Chris Tucker is doing this deal with this guy for some C4, and he's trying to bust this guy. And then two cops roll up, and they're about to break up this whole thing. They notice it's suspicious. They think it's some sort of illegal deal. And Chris Tucker's like, no, man, leave it alone. Nothing. He's like, he's a cop himself. So he's trying to, like, tell them that it's his own investigation and stuff. But he's, not really getting it across. But then afterwards, the suspect, who he basically helps get away, he then, once he's in a car, he's like, all right, now I'm going to chase him down and try to get him. Like, he could have caught him the whole time.
That's not fun.
It didn't make any sense. Like, in the first scene, I was like, he's the worst cop. And then, like, his attitude and, like, the way he almost got the girl killed in one other scene, like, he was just a terrible cop. He was incompetent. But, he had a good heart. That's what got him.
Was he one of those people in the Epstein Black Books? I want to say I heard his name somewhere.
Chris Tucker?
Am I wrong? I might be wrong, man.
I never heard that.
Smear the guy now. Like Chris Tucker. Yeah.
And you're probably being racist. It's probably like Martin Lawrence or someone.
Yeah.
Like, they're all the same. Although I haven't seen Chris Tucker in a movie in forever, so maybe.
Yeah, he did like Fifth Element, and that was pretty much it.
He did like 3 Rush Hour movies, but
oh yeah, he did.
No, he was definitely he was big for a while, but he did do a ton of stuff.
Friday was huge, and he didn't come back for the second one nor the third. You guys ever seen the movie Friday?
Yeah, back in the 90s.
I think I might have saw a piece of it once, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched much this week, aside from a couple more episodes of Titans. I'm in like season 2, maybe like 5 episodes deep. But actually, me and him have been doing a little bit of gaming this week. I got him in on that Witness game. I've been talking about that puzzle game.
Yeah, been doing some puzzles, and now I'm like, open up! It's time to do puzzles.
It's a hard game, though, right?
Yeah, it's fun if you like Myst and stuff. It's a good one.
I think you said like between the two of us, we almost have one functioning brain, and I think that's about right playing this game.
Now, you two are pretty smart. If this game's that hard, then yeah, I don't think I want to play it.
It definitely, it's a mindset. Some people like puzzles and some don't, but...
Although, like, the designer of the game, definitely some of the puzzles are, like, fucking with you way too much.
Yeah, there's a bit of tedium occasionally.
Like, there's this one we were playing, and, like, basically there's these birds chirping, and the pattern in which they chirp, like, corresponds to a puzzle that you're doing. But then he'll, like, overlay, like, other noises over top of the chirp, so they're really hard to hear and understand, like... Just like things that really fuck with you, and you're like, God damn it, this is annoying as hell. But yeah, definitely some interesting puzzles in the game too, though. What about you? Did you have time to watch anything this past week?
I mean, I think I watched a couple of the Teen Titans, kind of on your guys' likings, and yeah, I'm doing okay. I haven't watched that many. I think the last one I watched is where they kind of like they touched on the Doom Patrol a little bit, like they were a little side story episode.
Yeah, they and that episode like must have came before. I think that must have been a lead into Doom Patrol because like by the time Doom Patrol they replaced the professor guy with Timothy Dalton.
Oh, wait! I thought Timothy Dalton was the first two seasons, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this Titans came out first and like introduced people to the Doom Patrol, but we didn't know that, so we watched the Doom Patrol.
Oh, I didn't know it was that old.
Yeah. So like between the time they filmed that episode and the first like episode of Doom Patrol, they replaced the guy that plays the professor.
So they upgraded.
Yeah, they upgraded to Timothy Dalton.
I thought he must have stepped out and they put in this new guy. Okay.
Yeah, Timothy Dalton's definitely a better actor.
I did watch the Marvel What If show, the new one.
Oh, what was the episode this week?
With Doctor Strange. So, spoiler alert.
Doctor Strange.
He loses Christine in that same accident where he loses his hands. Instead, he keeps his hand function.
Oh.
But he loses Christine. And then he kind of like... He goes down that path where he becomes Sorcerer Supreme because he's looking for some way to grieve over her and find something of greater purpose. And he defeats Dormammu and everything like he's supposed to, but then he has like a moment where he can't deal with Christine's death, and he's talking to the Sorcerer Supreme, and she's like, she breaks him off into two paths. One where like he eventually decides that he's going to get past Christine's death and focus on other things that are more important and just focus on the future, and one where he obsesses over her death and where he obsesses over bringing her back and figuring out a way to do it. So the two paths diverge and go down their roads, and the one that's evil, or the one that becomes evil, that's obsessed with Christine and bringing her back, it like consumes power from different realms and becomes like all powerful, and to the point where because Christine's death was a point where he went back in time, or went and learned these mystical arts and defeated Dormammu. That was a very important set in place moment. You couldn't change that unless you had extreme power. So that's why he went about and got all this power. He couldn't just do it with the time stone. Every time he tried to bring her back, she would die. So he does all this. He gets the power. He finds out that there's an other half of him because he got split in half and they went down two different paths. One where he's good, one where he's bad. He forces his good half back into himself, and then he brings Christine back. But by that point, the entire universe is consumed in darkness and everything ends.
So they took a dark turn on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, did you happen to see that the Spider-Man trailer for the next Spider-Man movie?
Oh yeah, I did. I don't think it reveals as much as I was hoping for, because I think there's going to be still a lot more to it. But yeah, it looks interesting.
It looks like they're just trying to get like cameos from as many people as they can. I'm thinking.
Yeah, and that's not even all of them yet. Like there's a few more people.
Because they had. It is kind of weird that they're like bringing back like people from that like Sam Raimi Spider-Man like continuity.
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield.
Have they confirmed that Tobey Maguire is going to be in them?
There have been set leaks, like photos.
Oh, okay.
Where they say that these are like very reliable sources.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I think they'll be in there.
But yeah, the trailer had Alfred Molina, right? Dr. Octopus. Yeah. And I don't think it showed.
Jamie Foxx is confirmed too.
Oh God, they should just ignore that movie's existence. God, this movie.
But I feel like Marvel will figure out a way to do it right.
If anybody can, it's them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think those characters are going to come in to stay. They're just going to be like fun little cameos in this movie or whatever. I mean, my guess.
Look at Shang-Chi. It's got really good reviews from.
Oh, that's coming out this week, isn't it? Might have to watch that.
It's got like I think a 91% last time I heard.
Oh, cool.
So I mean, I think the writing's probably not bad in there.
All right, you guys got anything else before we get into the show?
Get to getting.
All right, let's get into it. So anyone who hasn't watched the show, we just go around the table. Everyone will bring a topic of conversation up. It can be anything. A lot of times we try to find stories a little off the beaten path. But let's see what AJ's got, because as tradition dictates, AJ, we usually start with you.
All right, let's keep it high class, guys. Anti-vaxxers believe in the value of pure semen. It's on the internet, so it must be true. That is certainly the case of anti-vaxxers whose beliefs may have been shaped by what they've read on the information highway.
Pornhub.
Besides thinking,
give me a shot of that good stuff, doctor. Stat.
Dr. Sins. Besides thinking COVID-19 vaccines are bad, this group of people also seemingly believe that unvaccinated sperm will be the next Bitcoin. According to a Vice report, some of the unvaccinated feel their pure sperm will make the market of semen soar to the moon. Their belief is that the vaccinated populations dwindles because vaccines supposedly don't work.
You gonna invest your money? Not Bitcoin, son.
I got your investment right here. You literally own them.
This goes for 120 on the market. I'll give it to you for 100.
The unvaccinated people will emerge as leaders to repopulate the earth with their super semen. So what spawned this bizarre point of view? A sperm is the new Bitcoin meme and an anti-mask and anti-vax community on Reddit. The Vice reported that the sperm meme isn't new and has been floating the interweb since the production of COVID-19 vaccines.
Swimming the interweb.
It was brought back.
I've been working on my journalism skills.
It was brought back to the spotlight after conspiracy theories regarding high demand for unvaccinated blood and a short supply of semen and sperm banks because of lockdown measures. This is all compounded with screenshots from a cryptocurrency blog post with the "Is unvaccinated sperm really the next Bitcoin?" headline being spread around without context. In an interview with Vice, Tony Chen, clinical assistant professor at the Stanford School of Medicine Urology Department, stated studies have shown that getting vaccinated does not affect sperm quality or count, noting the coronavirus can also be found in testicle and penile tissue and semen in those infected. All right, there you go.
So we would have to be unvaccinated to get in on this racket?
Like there's certain people who are like, I need that cum, but no vaccinated.
Yeah, you got to be unvaccinated, and you just got to have just a ton of cum.
So they're gonna test. They're gonna test all this cum for vaccine.
Yeah, who's this guy who's like, all right, give me all the cum, I'll test it out for you.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That's a strange one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. These people.
I'm guessing there's no hot women buying into this.
The internet and these imaginations, man. Like that's what comes out of it. Anything.
I was reaching to try to find like a clever pun of like, cryptocurrency or Bitcoin with like jizz, but
Yeah.
I was like, what's another name for jizz?
Well, I mean, nut harvesting nuts, maybe.
Oh, that could be. That could be. Well, I guess we'll check into donating. See if we can have the vaccine taken out of us.
Why don't we find some dummies and beat them up and get all their sperm?
Your sperm or your life?
Get to it, buddy. Show them some ankle.
We're the sperm bandits.
The sticky bandits. Or the web bandits.
Yeah.
They all work.
I knew it. The government's out for my sperm.
They devalued my sperm with their vaccine.
Oh.
Barely give it away.
I tried.
Every day I'm trying.
No takers.
Yeah, no takers, yeah.
All right, shall we skeet on over to the manifesto round one?
All right, this is a flash from the past, a story we covered. Basically, there's a guy, he was living with his parents. I don't know if I think he was paying rent or something. And at some point, they got frustrated with him, and they went and they took all his like porn videos, his porn mags, like everything, and basically they threw it away or they burned it, they destroyed it, whatever. And then so the son is like, he took them to court to sue them, and he was estimating there was some crazy amount of money, like 40 grand or something. And so eventually went to court. The judge granted him a settlement of $30,441.
Plus, there's all that lost money in jizz.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those grandkids they'll never see. I mean, he was paying rent, I don't know why they went into his stuff and destroyed it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Unless it was like ruining his life.
Well, I mean, if you've got $40,000 worth of porn laying around,
It might be ruining your life. Yeah.
yeah, at this day and age, it's like, what do you think? It's like you think it's like vintage?
That's what I was wondering. Like, is this like really old Playboys and shit like that in mint condition or something?
Yeah. This is a 1936 Mae West. Like, oh.
By the way,
Rookie edition.
like to get this kind of settlement, like how did he prove like he had all this stuff and what it was worth?
Yeah.
He was a real stickler with his porn.
It does really make you wonder, like, what kind of porn was it? Because it couldn't have been like, fucking VHS tapes and stuff. Those wouldn't be worth shit.
You wouldn't think so.
I would think it would have to be some sort of print porn.
Yeah, I mean, some of those old Playboys are worth something, so maybe.
I don't get it.
$30,000.
$30K.
Like, what kind of relationship do you think that guy has with his parents now? Like, do you think...
Well, it had to have been bad.
Like, what? It's like, I wonder if she was just cleaning up his room and found it one day, or...
What's this under the bed? It's $40,000.
Exactly.
It's just like a hoarder. It's just like wall-to-wall magazines and... Yeah. It's like, I'm going to use that someday. I have projects.
That's gold right there.
She's like, I went to clean your bed sheets and they shattered like a pane of glass.
You ever see that Key and Peele sketch with crispy socks?
I don't know how to go.
It's like a rap, basically.
Oh, I don't think I did.
Oh, yeah. Well, basically, like, he talks about how he's going through his son's room and he's finding crispy socks everywhere.
Yeah, there's a certain age in a young man's life where Yeah, it's not good.
There's no good. There's nothing good's gonna come out of checking under their bed. Yeah.
Although a bunch of unvaccinated sperm, maybe. It's like, does it matter how old it is? All right. Well, I have a much more classy topic than porn. This here is the 6 most horrible things people have found in their food, supposedly. Number 1.
It's just going to be like, there was a Hardee's burger in my bag.
Arby's.
You're really going hard against Hardee's these last couple of weeks. Number 1, a mouse in a loaf of bread. In 2009, Stephen Forst of Kidlington, England, bought a loaf of pre-sliced bread. He had already eaten a few slices when he made a disgusting discovery. At first, he thought the dark batch stuck to the corner of the loaf was just discolored dough. Then he noticed the fur. It was the unfortunate mouse that had somehow gotten itself baked into the loaf. The worst part of it was that the critter's tail was missing. Had it simply been ripped off as the mouse bread got packaged?
Was it like in the 3 pieces he ate?
Well, or did Forrest accidentally feed it to his family along with the slices he'd prepared? He'll never know. As a result of the incident, the food company that produced the bread was fined more than $23,000.
Zero of which goes to that guy.
That's what I was wondering. It should go to him, right?
Yeah.
Number 2, a knife in a Subway sandwich.
I could see that happen.
The healthiest thing in it. Mr. John Agnesini ordered a foot-long sandwich at a NYC Subway in 2008. When he bit into the sandwich, his teeth clenched around something hard. Pulling the item out of the sandwich, Agnesini discovered it was a 7-inch long knife. Luckily, he bit into its partially melted handle instead of the blade. He didn't get his mouth mutilated, but Agnesini claimed he got a case of food poisoning from the sandwich. But he
Double
did.
down.
But he did.
Ate that thing?
He did also get a $20,000 payment in compensation, so he got money.
Yeah, I'd eat a poison sandwich for
Yeah,
$20K.
20 G's, yeah.
Next, razor blade in ice cream. In 2011, Stephanie Granger was left screaming after trying to have some of Walmart's peanut butter ice cream with a movie. And no, she wasn't screaming for ice cream. She was screaming because after a couple of bites, something cut the inside of her lip. What she thought was just a piece of tinfoil turned out to be a broken razor blade. Unlike the previous 2 cases, though, Granger didn't get much in the way of compensation. According to the woman, Walmart apologized for the incident and wished her a better day going forward. Man, fuck that. I'd be like, give me my money, Walmart.
Did she not file a lawsuit? That's where the money is.
Apparently not. She wasn't like sue heavy.
They settle like frivolous shit.
Yeah, she could have definitely got money if
They
she
said,
wanted
have
to.
a nice life.
Yep.
Better luck
Sorry
next
about the razor blades. You got to watch out for those.
Didn't even give her free ice cream. Severed finger in frozen custard. Like Miss Granger, Clarence Stowers from Wilmington, North Carolina, likes frozen treats. Or at least she did, but that might have changed after she bought a pint of frozen custard from Cole's Frozen Custard in 2005. Stowers discovered a strange solid object in the custard. Thinking it was a piece of candy incorporated into the pint as an extra treat, she popped in her mouth. When she realized the thing wasn't edible, she spit it out and went to rinse it off in a sink. In her own words, she just started screaming when she realized it was a severed finger. According to an investigation by North Carolina State Department of Agriculture and Labor, an employee had managed to lose a finger in an accident with a food processing machine. At the same time, another employee at the drive-through finger had scooped up some custard to serve this to Stowers. That sentence wasn't quite right. The stars aligned right, and the finger ended up in her serving. That would be, yeah.
Don't you like shut off production? When someone's finger gets cut off,
You would think so.
you're like, oh, hey guys, there's a finger in here.
They had a quota of meat.
The FDA allows 1 finger per 10,000 batches.
The next, a tooth in a Milky Way bar. We all know too much candy is bad for your teeth, but usually it's just your own teeth in jeopardy. In 2010, Sue Calhoun from Texas bought a Milky Way bar while accompanying her husband on a trip to purchase a new tractor. She got halfway through her treat when she bit into something hard. Calhoun figured it was a peanut or something, then the realization hit her. There are no peanuts or other hard ingredients in Milky Ways. She spat out the tooth into her hand, only it wasn't her tooth. Oh, she spit out a tooth. The Mars Corporation offered to take the tooth out of Calhoun's hand, but she decided to keep it as possible evidence. The last development in the case we could find was that Calhoun intended to have her dentist identify what kind of tooth the thing was. And finally, number 6, a condom in a Big Mac.
I wouldn't want to know that. I'd rather just assume it was like a human tooth. Be like, this is a kangaroo.
I mean, yeah. I mean, nothing would be good, I guess. Last one, a condom in a Big Mac. In 1997, William Smith entered a McDonald's in Easton.
They're like, boy, that's unvaccinated. Don't tell anybody. You get a deal.
I entered the McDonald's in Easton, PA. Clearly, the man was hungry as he ordered 2 Big Macs, fries,
You're
and
going to say he finished it.
That's probably what Smith consumed the first burger without issue, but when he took a bite out of the second one, he noticed it didn't taste quite right. And no wonder, between a patty and a bun was sandwiched a condom. Smith approached the restaurant's manager, who took the condom and went into the back. According to Smith, he asked the employees there
Drop your trowel, let's see who it fits.
who had slipped a condom into the burger. Smith claims the guys had a good laugh about it, but nobody confessed. So Smith pressed charges of physical and emotional illness. In the end, though, a judge dismissed the case with no reason given. Whether that was the right decision, you can decide for yourself. Well, I would say that
that's a horrible decision.
Yeah. There's definitely some emotional illness, and maybe physical illness as well. That seems like something you should definitely be able to sue for.
His lawyer was like,
we got no case, man. I buy into condom burgers all the time.
Yeah. I mean, the guy that bit into the handle of a knife got $20,000, and the guy that finds a condom can't get any restitution.
Strawberry flavored. Exactly. Nothing wrong here. I don't know.
And you can find a finger and not get any restitution either. Better luck next time. All right. Well, that was my article, so I guess it's time for AJ round number 2.
All right. A Russian woman sues McDonald's after she says ad convinced her to break Lent fast. A Russian woman suing McDonald's, claiming ads for their cheeseburgers made her break her month-long fast for Lent, according to Oddity Central. And while that's already unusual enough, Ksenia Ovchnikova, an Orthodox Christian from Omsk, Russia, is asking for only 1,000 rubles, which is $17.10 Canadian, as compensation for sustained moral damage. Ovchnikova says the McDonald's cheeseburger and McNugget ads prevented her from staying away from meat and other animal products during Lent in April 2019. Lent is the period during which Orthodox Christians following the Julian calendar are expected to abstain from eating meat, meat byproducts, poultry, eggs, and dairy. After successfully fasting for the past 16 years, Ovchnikova, and I'm saying that wrong, says she couldn't resist the commercials and ended up ordering a cheeseburger from the nearest McDonald's restaurant. She claimed that by running the ads, McDonald's broke the consumer protection law and insulted her religious feelings. By this point, I had already been fasting for a month, but when I saw an advertisement banner, I could not help myself. I visited McDonald's and bought a cheeseburger, she wrote in her statement to court. In the actions of McDonald's, I see a violation of the consumer protection law. I asked the court to investigate and, if a violation has taken place, to oblige McDonald's LLC to compensate me for moral damage in the amount of 1,000 rubles.
I can't possibly have personal responsibility.
I mean, this is like the person who blames the devil, you know? Like, the devil tempted me, you know?
The devil is McDonald's. So stupid, yeah. Like, I mean, how do you think she honestly believes she can win that case?
I mean, it's $17.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap. The risk reward for McDonald's is like, okay.
Yeah, I'll send you a 20 in the mail.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe she could sue from the diarrhea later. But for breaking Lent, God, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, that was frivolous and ridiculous. But I mean, the fact that people are doing that in Russia now, hey, good for them. They're moving in our direction.
Yeah. Get those capitalists.
Maybe we should just start suing everybody for somehow breaching our religious beliefs and just see if we can get something.
I've heard that you can just write complaint letters with presidents of companies and you get a bunch of free shit.
We should pretend to be like the most popular religion, Baptist Christians or evangelicals or whatever, right? Aren't they the most popular in America?
Probably.
Yeah, we should be them, and then just feign outrage over things, and just sue over it.
We try to sue every porn company for giving us impure thoughts.
Gave me porn addiction, ruined my life.
Pure boys against porn.
We're gonna sue TikTok for all those fucking hunky guys getting arrested.
Yeah.
Making me think thoughts I shouldn't.
Making me feel feelings.
Man, speaking of religion, I didn't read the details, but I saw on Twitter this morning, everyone was talking about how the judges in Texas, almost outlawed abortion, basically, or made it even more stringent.
It's after you've been pregnant for 6 weeks, you can't get an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, yeah, that's crazy. Don't a lot of women don't even know they're pregnant by that time?
Yeah.
I think you get morning sickness pretty early on.
Some, but some never do.
I think most get some. I don't know.
I mean, that's less.
Still, it's fucked up.
That's less than 2 months to figure it out and know what you gotta do.
Yeah, then you have to go to Tennessee.
Ugh. What's worse?
I mean, can these idiots not figure out all the bad shit that comes with outlawing abortion? I mean, it's so stupid.
I mean, there's many things that are very stupid and very obvious and have tons of historical evidence, and people still refuse to see any of it. I mean, look at socialism or prohibition. It's just keep doing the same stupid shit.
Yeah, ridiculous. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Texas does need to go blue, apparently. Jeez. Do you got a more uplifting topic for us there? Manifesto round 2?
Roller coaster dubbed Super Death.
Okay.
Was shut down for breaking riders' bones. So there's a roller coaster in Japan, and apparently it does over 100 miles an hour. And damn. 6 people have had fractured neck and back bones, and yeah, they got shut down.
Does it not have support in those areas, or
it's just going so fast? It's whipping you. It's
why would they make it that fast?
I mean, faster is better. Which were you both with me? There was a roller coaster we did in Houston, and it kicked the shit out of us.
I think it was me, you, and Roman.
Yeah,
maybe?
So it was called the Bullet.
Yeah,
and it was an old wooden one, and it wasn't even going that fast, but it was jarring you side to side and shit.
That's the thing. There's parts in it where the track went, side to side real quick, and it would just jar you, and we all got out of there and had back and neck problems.
We were 30 years old. I was man, I'm glad we didn't talk mom and dad on to getting on that thing.
I know. That would have broken them in half, I think.
Wheeling them out of there.
That was the most, I haven't rode a ton of roller coasters in my life, but that was by far the most violent.
Yeah, I've done a number. That one was the worst.
I didn't ride that one, but I did used to ride this one called the Cyclone, and it was all wood. And it would shake like a motherfucker. It was just very uncomfortable. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Huh?
That's in Japan.
That was Japan, yeah.
Where was this roller coaster that you rode in Houston? Was it Six Flags?
It was at the boardwalk.
Yeah, there was
Kimo Boardwalk.
Yeah.
Boardwalk,
okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, not a fun roller coaster for anyone that lives in that area.
Oh, they warned you.
All right. Are you guys ready to answer really hard movie trivia questions again?
Trivia
Let's do
time.
it, yeah.
I haven't really vetted these.
Man, I've been getting my balls handed to me on these trivia things, man.
Well, these ones here.
Because like I used to think I was smart.
Your worthless sperm-filled balls.
You got to be fast when the easy ones come up.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you're not drinking this week, so you might have an advantage.
Yeah.
Well, Nobody's Perfect is the final line and punchline from what classic 1959 comedy starring Marilyn Monroe?
Some Like It Hot.
That is correct.
Oh, boom. I thought of a Marilyn Monroe movie.
Okay. The stage play Everybody Comes to Rick's was adapted for the screen to become what 1942 Best Picture winner?
Everybody Comes to Rick's. No idea.
Casablanca.
That is correct.
Whoa, you pulled that one out.
I've seen
I
Casablanca.
haven't.
Maybe, I mean, there is a bar. I thought it was like operated by a guy named Sam or something, though.
I think
Or
that's
Played Against Sam was
the
what.
pianist.
Maybe it went
Oh,
from
he was a
Rick's to
pianist.
Sam's.
Okay. So maybe it was Rick's. I don't know. I think it's an overrated movie, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
In what 1979 James Bond movie does the famous spy go to outer space?
Damn, I don't. Outer space. Thunderballs? Wasn't there one with thunder in the title?
I believe there was one called Thunderball. I don't think it's balls.
Just one.
So that's your guess?
That's all I got. Nothing.
Do you have a guess?
Quantum Solace.
Octopussy?
That one's too new. But this one actually makes sense if you think about it. Moonraker.
Oh, yeah.
Who wrote the famous scary theme music from Halloween?
John Carpenter.
That is correct.
Damn. I didn't know that. I wasn't even close to knowing that.
I did know that, but I don't know if you sprung the question on me if I could have came up with it in time. But what animated classic was the first film of the late 20th century Disney Renaissance?
So Disney sucked, and when they started making a comeback.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast.
Sleeping Beauty.
You had to listen to this movie about 1 million times in a car ride. The Little Mermaid. In Apocalypse Now, Robert Duvall says, "I love the smell of blank in the morning."
Napalm.
That's correct. What is the name of Quint's shark hunting boat in Jaws?
Orca.
That
Is
is
it the-
correct.
Damn.
I only saw Jaws once, so I would have never got that.
Because orcas kill great whites.
What's the name of Charlie Chaplin's most famous reoccurring character?
The Tramp.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah.
We got a tie game. Whew. Aaron Sorkin won an Oscar for writing what 2010 drama about the creation of Facebook?
Social Network.
That is correct. Who played iconic femme fatale Phyllis Dietrichson in the classic 1946 film noir Double Indemnity?
Audrey Hepburn.
I think she's after that.
I think it's Audrey Hepburn anyway.
Bet something.
This would be a hard one. Barbara Stanwyck.
Yeah, no clue.
What is the model of revolver made famous by Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry Callahan?
45 Magnum.
Do you have a guess?
Model of revolver made famous by who?
By Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry character.
Colt 45.
You said 45 Magnum. It was a 44 Magnum. You were close. Which 1927 war drama was the first movie to ever win Best Picture?
Saving Private Ryan. Wait, what year?
1927.
Oh, 1927.
Is it Metropolis?
War drama.
A war drama that's that old.
To be honest, I've never heard of this movie, so I don't know.
Yeah. Not
You guys want me to just give it to you?
Yeah.
Answer is Wings.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, was that the Howard Hughes?
Maybe. I really don't know. Who is the first actor to play Jack Ryan on screen?
Tom Cruise?
Not sure.
Alec Baldwin. The Hunt for Red October. I don't know if that was the first one.
I haven't seen that. That's one that's on my list that I would probably watch.
This one here is impossibly hard. I can't imagine you guys getting it. But you mentioned Audrey Hepburn. What was Audrey Hepburn's birth name?
Emma.
Any guess?
Audrina Hepkachova.
I don't know why anyone would know this unless maybe she was the daughter of a famous actor. Audrey Kathleen Rustin. I don't even know why anyone would.
Well, we've got points. We just said Audrey.
Joaquin Phoenix received his first Oscar nomination for playing Roman Emperor Commodus in what 2000 Oscar win?
Gladiator.
Yes.
Commodus.
Commodus 64. Who played the unsinkable Molly Brown in Titanic?
Rosie O'Donnell. Say that again.
Who played the unsinkable Molly Brown in Titanic? I've dropped a few unflushable Molly Browns in my day.
I don't even know if I've watched all of Titanic. I know I've seen parts of it. I only remember the two characters. And yeah, I don't know.
Any guesses?
Yeah, I know who she is, but I just can't. The name's not coming to me.
Why are you smiling about it?
I don't know. I was like, should I put a time limit on these?
I mean, all right, yeah, she was in Misery, right?
Yeah, you're gonna be kicking yourself. Kathy Bates.
Damn,
I was closer.
With Rosie O'Donnell. God, the only thing I can unfortunately think about is he rented a movie once called, I think it was called About Schmidt. Jack Nicholson, and there's a scene where naked Kathy Bates gets in a hot tub with him, and it haunts me to this day.
I saw that scene too.
Ooh, I got goosebumps.
On your penis.
Unfortunately, that one lives in my head rent free.
By the way, there's a story about a kid who had that genius idea to stick his dick in a beehive to get that permanent penis.
Oh, the swelling.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what
I wonder
happened
how long
after
it
that.
lasted.
And did it work?
I don't know. I didn't really want to read a story about a kid's penis. So
I mean, you can get those plastic surgery fillers pumped into your dick. I don't know how much that costs,
but would it like work? Like, would you still get erect with it?
yeah, I think it's just you got more girthage.
Okay.
He's like, it got me hard, but then it was too sore to use.
I didn't know if that was cum or something else.
Yeah, just leaking out of it. Turns out I'm allergic to bees.
Yeah, that's exactly what would happen. I mean, anyone who's been stung by a bee, like, I don't know how you could even have that idea because it does hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Like, who would ever think, I'll just stick a bunch of these in my dick?
Well, another thing is, like, maybe like you stand 20 feet away and you try to start with one and be like, oh, let's try one. One to the old ding dong.
No, I would try to, if I had to, I would try to get them all at once. You know, let's say you had to get like
you're
20.
Like, I just gotta bite the bullet.
Yeah.
Shove it in there.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have to pay the price, but it'll be done. The action's over. I don't have to fret about it.
Yeah, let's say you have to get 20 stings. Well, I'd rather get them all at once than like, one at a time.
Okay.
I don't know what it does, but like I know some people with MS actually get like bee sting therapy where they are like purposely like.
Yeah, arthritis as well.
Yeah, so it does like something for those
it does
people.
Something. Because they go back and do it again.
And like I also like there was a story I almost did for the podcast once. It was like one of my possibles I never used. There was like they were doing studies.
20 places people stuck their dick.
No, they were using like honeybee venom to cure breast cancer somehow.
I know there was one, and I've only heard like one case, but they cured HIV in a little girl using some kind of bee venom, and I don't know what the full details on that were.
Now, if you guys don't get this next one, I'm going to be personally offended.
Batman.
In the action thriller Speed, why is Annie, Sandra Bullock's driver's license suspended?
For speeding.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Had to be.
Jennifer Lawrence won a Best Actress Academy Award for what 2012 romantic comedy?
Silver Linings Playbook.
That is correct. It's a tie game with 2 questions left.
Tie again.
The Battle of Thermopylae served as the basis of what highly stylized 2006...
300.
That is correct.
Damn it. I definitely should have logged in on that one.
Now, I guess if you get this one, I'll have to go into sudden death and do another question. Okay, here we go. Which famous film composer wrote the music for Tim Burton's 1989 Batman?
Hans Zimmer.
You got a guess?
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Hans Zimmer did the Nolan movies, but this one was Danny Elfman, the 89 Batman.
Elfman.
So yeah, AJ squeaked out a win 6-5.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Good game. Good game.
Man, I get slaughtered on these, man.
Well, you were close on that one,
Yeah,
though.
this one
that
at
was-
least was closer.
Yeah.
All right, AJ, you got another story for us?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we got here. All right, this one's a bit of a long one, so bear with me, but it's interesting. The stress of 2020 and its aftermath have led many to complain their brains have turned to mush, according to The Guardian, but a new archaeological find dating to AD 79 has demonstrated that the next level stress, say a pyroclastic blast from a volcano, can literally vitrify your gray matter. At least that's what's happened to one poor Roman man. This discovery is making waves in the archaeological community, and with good reason. Many have never seen anything quite like it. Although researchers came across the man's final resting place in the 1960s, his remains didn't undergo close scrutiny until 2018. That's when Pierre Paulo Patrone and his team first identified the shiny obsidian-like stone poking from the victim's fractured body per Smithsonian. Brain matter turned to glass. But how in the world could a human's brain become stone, remaining preserved for 2 millennia? Here's what we know about this stunning find. A tale of 2 volcano-ravaged cities. When Mount Vesuvius erupted without warning in AD 79, it showered scorching rock and ash onto ancient Roman cities, including Pompeii and Herculaneum, killing approximately 16,000 people according to history. Pompeii remains by far the most famous of these 2 archaeological sites. Rediscovered in the 16th century, the first excavation of the city began in 1748 under Charles III of Bourbon, King of Naples. Without a well-organized plan, the work progressed sporadically, and enhancing the prestige of the king ultimately proved more important than furthering scientific inquiry. Nevertheless, Pompeii gained international renown, and it remains one of the most visited destinations in Italy. But ironically, Herculaneum, Pompeii's neighbor to the south, is better preserved. Why, for starters, Herculaneum marked a wealthier city with superior infrastructure. What's more, how the volcanic blast destroyed the metropolis and the conditions on the ground also played vital roles in its ultimate conservation. Life, death, and preservation in Herculaneum. The ash of the blast blew in a southerly direction, providing precious moments for some residents to flee since Herculaneum sat downwind of the explosion. Increased humidity in the ground of Herculaneum created optimal conditions for preservation. According to Culture Trip, when the city was buried in ash, the sediment created a compact tufa rock layer about 50 feet deep, keeping much of the city intact and free from future looting. Incredibly, wooden homes, clothes, and even food were carbonized and preserved to this day, giving an unparalleled glimpse into daily life in the ancient world. But not everyone proved so lucky. These unlucky individuals died in the volcano's pyroclastic surge, enveloped by clouds of rock, volcanic gas, and ash that moved at hurricane velocities, temperatures of several hundred degrees Celsius. The scene proved grisly, and scientists still debate how long it took for the victims to suffocate or cook to death trapped in the boathouses, increasingly oven-like conditions. As reported by Smithsonian, the immense heat meant their skulls eventually exploded and the blood boiled in their veins. But the man with the glass brains didn't die at the waterfront. Instead, the scientists found his body in the city along with a handful of other individuals. What do scientists know about him? Roughly 25 years old, he died lying face down atop a wooden bed, perhaps in his sleep. Researchers hypothesize he worked at Herculaneum's College of Augustalis, an imperial cult to Caesar Augustus, as a guard. But how did the man's central nervous system transform into shimmering black stone? With the telltale tubular and spherical structures of brain cells still visible using electron microscopy? While an unprecedented find, Patrone and his team have a hypothesis. Extreme radiant heat was able to ignite body fat and vaporize soft tissues. A rapid drop in temperature followed. The rest is history. What's the takeaway? The next time you feel tempted to exclaim, "My brains have turned to mush," think again. If you're really feeling the heat, the more accurate statement might be, "My brains have turned to glass." What's more, despite the disaster that was 2020, it still beats AD 79. Well, I told you that was a long one.
It was long.
But yeah, some guy's brain turned to glass.
Yeah, not the best way to go.
I wouldn't mind seeing that his glass finding or whatever in person.
You know some tourists would mess that up.
Probably.
How are we doing on time?
We're almost at an hour. Do you got something funny to take us home on?
No.
Or interesting? Anything?
Chicago mom claims she lost custody of her son because she refused to get COVID-19 vaccine.
This reminds me of those TikTok videos where people are like they're crying. They're literally crying. They're like, my job is gonna fire me as a nurse because I won't get the COVID-19 vaccine and I can't get an exemption. Like, then there's like videos that are making fun of those people, which are like, my job as a restaurant waiter will. I'm gonna get fired because I won't stop shitting in the food, and I can't get an exemption. Like, it's so ridiculous.
It is true. Like, if you're a nurse, like, you would think you would understand the benefits of being vaccinated.
Or a teacher, you know, like these very important jobs where you're dealing with children who can't get vaccinated.
Oh yeah, wasn't there a story where like an unvaccinated teacher like came to class like unmasked and like half her students got it or something?
I know there's one case where like 76 students got coronavirus, and maybe that's the same one, I'm not sure though.
I mean, the kids can't get vaccinated, so they're always going to be like this huge vector, and it's just going to explode every time unless they actually catch it.
Can't kids like 12 or older get vaccinated?
I don't know.
I think 16 and older over here.
Oh. So, but you would think most teachers would be smart enough to get the vaccine too, but apparently not. You know, I heard like there was even like some football players that are not getting vaccinated, and like that's causing a bunch of issues too, because they like have different protocols they have to go through or some bullshit. You know, it's like, man, you're getting paid all this money to play football. And like, I don't know, it just seems like you might as well do it. Like,
yeah, at this point, I think it's too much trouble not to get vaccinated at this point. You know, you're fighting the whole entire system.
I'm just surprised, like, so many people are not doing it. Like, I guess I shouldn't be, but like, you know, most points in history, like, if I feel like if it was the 90s, like pre-internet, and this happened, like I feel like the vaccination rates would be much, much higher, don't you?
I don't.
You don't think social media has like played a large role in getting people not to do it?
I mean, if people are just free not to do it, free to make their own choice, then I mean, it was like a year before we even knew somebody who'd had it. And then, like, most people were surviving, so I don't know. I think it would have just went through the population. A lot of people would have died. Call it a day.
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to tell because I don't know, though. Like, I just feel like in the pre-internet days, like, when most people got their movie from, or their news from, like, television, like, television would have been like, oh, there's a pandemic, and people probably would have been even more worried because there wouldn't have been as much information about it. And then I feel like when the vaccine came, like, most people would have got it, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I just see, like, if you look on social media, like, it's just nonstop of, like, the anti-vax kind of propaganda.
Yeah, I don't know, because like the government so many times in the past had lied to people with vaccines and stuff. I don't know how much like everybody would have been on board with getting the vaccine in the first place. I think there's always been like some level of skepticism, like, you know, about getting vaccinated by the government.
I guess. I just feel like it's been amplified by social media, but I guess it's hard to tell. Maybe it would have been the same thing in a different time, but
yeah.
I'm skeptical. I think it might have been different. Well, I mean, I got some other stories, but none of them like fantastic and nothing that can't wait for another week.
That's a good spot to cut it.
We didn't have a ton of great stories, I feel like, today. Well, actually, the people selling their unvaccinated cum is kind of funny, I guess. All right. Well, whether or not you're planning on making money selling your unvaccinated cum, we do thank you for listening. And if you're on YouTube watching, that's great too. Make sure to comment, subscribe, leave us positive reviews, all that great stuff. And why not follow us on Twitter? Guys, where can people find you on Twitter?
I am at a name for this too, and that's the number 2.
I'm at unsolicited SUG.
And you can find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. And that is going to do it for all of our shenanigans and poppycock this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.